Alright, so if you saw the last video where I restarted this cafe after 3 years of sitting, part of the video in it you saw where I didn't have any power and I had to fiddle and thump on stuff to get this bike to start up. Well, it's doing the same thing again. And so you can see, like when I turn the ignition on, I hear a click. That's probably my headlight relay. But when I go to start it, I don't get anything, and sometimes it'll light up the little oil light right there. But right now, it's not doing anything. So I got some problem with the electrical. So I open this whole thing up, because the last thing you want to have is when you're going down the road, the bike shuts off or something because it's a major loss of the 12 volt, or you get somewhere and you shut it off and you go to start it and it won't start again. So we're going to start down here with the solenoid, and we're going to see which side of this thing is not working, because one of the two is not doing anything. It's either the ground side is not grounded to the coil, or the hot side not getting any power. Let's get set up here and have a look-see starting down here at the solenoid. Alright, so to get started to see who is my problem, first off I'm going to check the blue and white wire, because it's the ground wire and it goes straight up to the start button. So if that is not grounding, then you're not going to get anything. Now the red and white wire, that one is 12 volts all the time. So when you turn the ignition on, you get 12 volts right there. When you turn the ignition off, it shuts it off. But it ought to have 12 volts on it. And the blue and white wire ought to be grounded when I contact the button up there. So first off, we're going to check the blue and white wire to see if there's an issue with the button up here, or maybe a connection on the blue and white wire. So what I need to do is, with the ignition off, all I want to do is probe it. And if you don't have it open like this right here, you'll have to go up to the connector up there in the harness and probe the blue wire that's coming out of the harness. So, but I can get it right here. So I'm going to put my probe right there and probe to ground. And I can hold it steady. When I hit the button up here, that meter ought to beep, or it ought to show something. All right, so there we go. So we're getting contact. It's enough that it'll make it beep, but you see some movement on the display there because the coil is what you're working across right there. So we're getting ground on the blue side. So now let's switch over. We'll turn the ignition on, and I'm going to probe that red and white wire. So the blue wire is not my problem. It seems to be working. So now let's switch our meter over, and we're going to probe this one, but we got to turn the ignition on. So let me get the ignition turned on. Alright, so we'll try the button. Got nothing on the button. Alright, so if it's a problem with the red and white wire right here, this wire ought to be powered on the first gens all the time. So when I turn the ignition on, that ought to have 12 volts. So now, switched over to voltage. If I put my probe on there, I get nothing. Nothing. And so you can see up on the meter, my problem is something to do with the 12 volt. It's not anything to do with the ground, because the ground actually beeped when I contacted it. So we got to figure out what's wrong with the red and white wire, because it's not getting any power. So somewhere up in the whole circuit up there, we're not getting power on that red wire. So let's head up here and we're going to start diagnosing little by little. Up in the circuitry, we'll look at the relays that trigger this little guy. Maybe there's something wrong with that. Maybe there's a power signal somewhere in there, or maybe it's up in the fuses. So we'll go up to the fuses, and we're going to check the fuses first and make sure everybody's got power on that red wire right there. Alright, so up to the fuse box we go. So here's the little fuse box on the front. I took it down because I wanted to verify for sure which fuse is which. So what I'm looking for is that red and white wire, because the whole ignition system on the first gen runs off that red and white wire. It has to have 12 volts. Everywhere you check that little red and white wire, got to be 12 volts. So we're going to start up here, and you can see my ignition's on, my light's lit up. And if you're looking to try to figure out which one it is, they got a little thing on the back here. So the first fuse is the tail light, the second fuse is the headlight, the third fuse is the ignition. So that ought to be the red and white wire, that third one right there. So we're set up with our meter again, and so we're gonna probe the top and the bottom of that fuse. So what I'm looking for is voltage. So I got it on voltage setting. So I'm going to go to the top of the fuse, and I'm going to just find a ground somewhere. And you can see that I got 11.4 with the ignition on. So it's trying to power some things. So that's good. I'm up there. You can ground it anywhere you want to. And you'll get it on the top of that red and white one. And then you want to check the bottom and make sure, because sometimes these bikes are getting old, these fuse blocks will start breaking down in the back, and just because you got a good fuse in there, you might not have power. But we check the bottom as well, and we can see on the bottom of the fuse, I'm checking top and bottom on that fuse, and like for that headlight, if you get tired of that thing sitting there glowing, you can just pull that headlight fuse out, and it'll cut your headlight off. You'll hear that relay in the back trip. But the lower is the part that has the power all the time. The upper is what's getting fused. So we know that we got power on the upper of the red and white. We'll put a little fuse back in. There you go. So next up, we got to figure out, because we got power at the fuse, that's good. Now that red and white wire heads out of the fuse on the first gen, and it goes up to the on-off up here where the starter button is. So we're going to go up there, and we're going to probe up there and see if we got power up here on this button that turns everything on and off. So we'll head up there next, and we'll see, and we'll slowly narrow down where we're losing power on this red and white wire. All right, so on to the next place, because we're trying to chase down the red and white wire. So as you can see right here, this is the on-off run stop switch, right? And it is the next place that the red and white wire goes before it heads on down through the harness, goes to the TCI, goes to all the relays and things. So I opened this guy up. So now we're going to check him and see, because on one of the poles, one of the two poles, it ought to have 12 volts. On both poles, if it's in the center, you ought to get 12 volts. If it's on off, then one of the poles will have it. So we're going to put it to the middle, and we're going to see if we get any voltage on either of those poles. So here we go again. We just want to probe the pole and find us a ground. And we got nothing. So as you can see, there's nothing going on here. So what does that mean? Well, that means if we went on down through here, there's nothing past this, because this switch kills the red and white wire. That's why it comes in red and white, goes out red and white. So right here is my problem, is there's something not providing power to the switch. Now, if there was power coming to the switch and the switch was the problem, one of these would still show 12 volts. But I'm not getting any voltage on either of them. So that means somewhere between here and the fuse box is my problem with this red and white wire. So it's probably something up inside the headlamp down here, and we got to figure out which wire has gone bad. So we don't have to go any further this way until we get power to this guy, because it's not going to do any good. This is the guy that's holding my power back. So let's switch back to the headlight, and let's wiggle some things around and see if we can figure out where this red and white wire is losing its contact. All right, so we're pretty fortunate, as fortunate things go for wiring, that it's something up in the headlight nest of wires up there, because I have power to the fuse block, but I don't have any power to this switch right here. So they're all up here together. It's not dealing with this whole harness back here. But let's just say, for example, when you check your fuses, if your fuse block didn't have any power at all, you're probably going to have an issue with your ignition. But I know my ignition's good because it turns my headlight on. So I know I'm getting power up to the fuse block, and I was able to confirm I didn't have any blown fuses, so that's good. Don't have any shorts anywhere. If you had a blown fuse, you'd need to trace down that wire all the way through the harness and figure out where the short was. But not the issue for me, so I'm good there. And I checked both sides of the fuse on the red and white wire, and I have power. So my power is lost to this switch right here. Now, let's just say I did have power here, so like one leg of that switch had power, and when I turned it to the middle, both legs have power. If I turn it sideways, I only get one power, so that's good. Let's say that happened. Then you're going to have to work your way on down. But in order to check everything, just know that that red and white wire, everywhere it is, it goes up to your TCI, it goes to the coils, it goes to everything back in here to run these relays. But everywhere that that wire intersects with something, it better have power with the switch on, all the way down to our little bitty solenoid that isn't working right now. So if you're running into problems with ignition, you know, things like that, like you're not getting a spark, check and make sure you got power to that red wire, or else you're not going to get any spark at all. And we'll make another video to talk a little bit about the TCI and not sparking, and like when you hit the button and all you get is a oil light come on. That's not got anything to do with this red and white wire. It's got something to do with the rest of the ignition. But just know that if you had power up here, you're going to need to chase on down and you're going to look at all these. So once we get our power restored, here I'll be able to go down through here and probe all these and just make sure these are good. So let's head up to the headlamp and we're going to figure out what's going on with that nasty mess of wires that's inside of there, because probably one of them has just gotten corroded and it's not contacting anymore. All right, so armed with our handy dandy multimeter set on voltage again, I'm going to turn the ignition back on and we're going to probe this thing and try to figure out where my red and white wire is not making any contact. So like I say, down at the fuse block, I can check the back of it because I disconnected it. But on the fuse block there, on the bottom side, I get voltage. My light's on, so my voltage is a little lower because my headlight's on, or I can pull that fuse and get it out. So now, it comes out of here and it heads up into the headlight box. And so, so right there, the first one I touched, if you heard, let me just touch it real quietly. Right there. You can hear that relay ticking. So something is up right there with that wire right there. That's my culprit. Because all of this, I could go down through here and checking, and as I move stuff, when it moves a wire, you'll hear that relay tick back there. And it's that guy right there. Well, that makes sense because a lot of these wires back here, they're just control wires, like your lights and your turn signals and stuff like that, tack, things like that. But this guy right here, that's the main wire that comes up and over to that switch there. So this is the one that does have all the red and whites on it. If you look, right there, there's a red and white wire, red and white wire, red and white wire, red and white wire, red and white wire. So this is where all the red and whites are coming in. So if I wiggle it, sure enough, I can hear that relay ticking. So my problem is that guy right there. So what I got to do, because this thing is so old, what I'm going to do is probably see if I can clean it up. But for some reason, we're not getting connection in there. And I can see it's wet. And so something's gotten wet inside of there. So I'm losing contact on those wires right there. Now, that's also my blue and white wire that comes from the button over there. So it could be that I'm losing my feed on my blue and white one if this whole connector is janky. So what I'm going to do is actually go through and I'm going to rewire this thing. Take this guy apart. I got my little handy dandy little tools right here to remove the things out of the connector. And what I'll probably do, since that connector is pretty old, I'm gonna probably just take the connector out and put the wires in directly together, shrink wrap them, and we'll call it good. So let me get this guy straightened out, and then we'll go on through and we'll look at some of the relays and things in the back there. But I didn't even need my multimeter for that. Just wiggling it around, I was able to find it. But if I wasn't able to find it that way, I could always probe either side of these right here. Probe in that one and look for voltage. Make sure I had voltage down there. Probe each one of these and see which one is losing its signal as it comes into that switch, and work my way on down. If I had power all up in here, powering my switches, I'm going to have to work my way on back down the bike and figure out at what point that red and white wire loses its power. So now everything is in good shape, and that was my problem. So now we can go down through there and we'll just show on the camera the different spots that the red and white wire goes. Like I say, don't confuse it with the red and yellow. They look real similar. Red and yellow is for the headlight. So we'll go down through there and show that now we have power all the way down through there and on our little cylinder. So that should be good, and we can bump it just to make sure that now it starts. So you can hear it trying to kick. All right. All right, so now we got our electrical problem fixed in the headlight box up there. So now we can turn things on and see what it's supposed to look like. So back to our little switch here. I lost my meter. So Now if I put a probe on that one and touch it to ground, I get 12 volts. If I do this one and the switch is turned to the center, then I should also get 12 volts. So that's good. If I turn it off, you hear the relays tick. One side is going to still be 12 volts. The other side is going to be nothing, because that's the guy that cuts the power to the red and white wire. Alright, so on down, anywhere you find that red and white wire, if you'll probe it, like up here going to the TCI, if you probe it and you find your ground, you should get 12 volts. So that's good. We got power to the TCI, so we know there's no issue with that on it sparking. And also the ones running down, we could find them and probe them to the coils, so we wouldn't have any issues on that. Make sure that that red and white wire is connected. And then back in the back, we can check any of them back here that are going to the relays. So any of these red and white wires, if we put a probe on that one, we'll see. Now we got power. So we got power to everything. And like I say, I'll make another video to show if you have power down there but it still won't start, and like all you get is an oil light, it's number one, not an issue with the oil sensor, the oil level sensor. That's not how this works. And I'll show that with another motor over there. I'll hook it up and show it'll start even with no oil in it. So we'll go through that in another video and we'll see what might be causing it to not start if everything is working like it should work right here. So now let's zoom down here and we'll see what the little solenoid should look like with power now that we got power restored to our bike. Alright, so now we can see we got power on our red and white wire. So everything checks out, the bike should start up. I already verified I got a ground, so that's all it takes. But if that solenoid's bad and you have power like we're good right now, if the solenoid's bad, it's still not going to want to start. So I'll make another video that shows some issues with the solenoid, why it might not start, and kind of bust that myth that folks might be thinking that when you push the button, you don't get anything but the oil light lights up, then it's something wrong with that oil level sensor. Well, the oil level sensor has nothing to do with starting the bike. And I'll show that you can start it bone dry of oil. It's just going to burn itself up. But we'll get into that with another video once we get all this put back together. And then we'll have some fun showing some of that. Well, alrighty. Well, thanks for watching.